Well, welcome everyone. Our favorite time of year is here, the beginning of the year, where we have our wonderful guest, Valanne Ridgeway, who is our, I want to say, resident astrologer. You don't belong to us. You are your own lovely astrologer, but because you're part of our Inner Access One-on-One community, we feel like you're our resident astrologer. And we're back at this beginning point of the year where we take grandmother's focus for the year, so the focus for 2026, and Valanne puts her astute astrology, not in quotations, but your astrology expertise on it as you've gone through the webinar. And I just can't wait to hear what you have to say. And yeah, we were starting to just visit a tiny minute before we started, and it's like, no, no, don't say anything. Just say all that on the webinar. So maybe we'll just start with the title, Valanne, because grandmother, in her cryptic
Hmm.
way, called 2026 as the year we enter a place that we have never been. Okay, so maybe let's
Oh,
start with that.
oh yeah. And I'm just gonna say I do feel like I'm part of I'm part of the community, but I do feel like I'm kind of the resident astrologer. Like I just love this community and I love you. So
Well,
it all works
great.
out beautifully.
Well,
So
we love you right back. So
and
we're glad you're here, and I know people
oh,
are has been eager to listen to what you have to say. We've got grandmother's wise perspective, and for those of you just
hmm.
listening, perhaps finding us on YouTube or in another venue, grandmother is the spirit guide that I've been channeling consciously since 1989. She's a huge part of our work. Here at Inner Access 101, where we teach classes that are all intuition based, and grandmother gives us the daily focus, the monthly focus, the yearly focus, and weighs in on a number of our webinars. And again, Valanne is an astrologer. She teaches astrology. She is part of her own community. I've been privileged to know the Inner Wisdom Circle that you and Sasha Corper run together. And anything else about your background, Valanne, that you'd like to share with our audience before we get started?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, I've used astrology all my life, but I've really come to it in the last 10 years as my focus and my practice. And
Yes,
so love sharing it however I can. It's
beautiful.
it's a
Well,
magical.
and people need to have a private session with you. They absolutely need to because I've never seen astrology put in such a positive fashion as you have. I shared last year. It's like, okay, anybody who takes a look at my chart, it's usually like, kind of a hard life, right, Wilson? And it's like, well, sometimes. But you also look at the challenges and have such a positive spin, not fake positive, but you're looking at the bigger picture, the brighter picture. And we've heard back from several of my clients, students, and colleagues who've had private sessions with you. And there's like, oh my goodness, where have you been hiding this woman all of our life? And it's like, well, I haven't been hiding her. I just found her. So
Well,
yeah,
part of my whole message is to empower people to be who they are, which is a theme of this year's. It's absolutely aligned to grandmother's message. So that's a perfect place to start because that is how I love to leave people feeling empowered that they can be themselves,
yes,
really.
definitely.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
so what's your thoughts on the title of
Oh,
like we enter the year, I have to look always at my notes, the year we enter
place.
the place we have never been. What's
Okay. Well, in terms of astrology, I started teaching about we're moving into a new place where we've never been in 2024. I started doing classes around this.
okay.
That is starting February 20th. Part of it,
Okay,
2020,
good.
2026. We are in the beginning of a new cycle astrologically. And I don't have software that goes back more than 4,000 years, but a few people have found something similar at 4,000 BC. A few people have said 14,000 BC. We are starting a cycle basically in terms of our civilization that we've never seen. We've never been in it. We
Okay.
can't even know where we're going to be at the end of this year. Like it's so it's such a huge transformation that we are embarking on.
Mm,
So that I right off the top, as soon as I heard the title, it's like, yeah, of course. So there are things happening in the sky that have never happened before. There are things happening in the sky that haven't happened for millennia. There's so as on an individual level, each of us are going to experience this in our chart in some way or another. Collectively, although it looks like total chaos, there is a chaos because we're coming into something new.
yes.
We're
Well, thank goodness.
hasn't truly been birthed. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The shift is happening. We have chosen to be here for this shift.
Yeah.
Like, especially when speaking to your community, we've all chosen to bring our where we are in our life and our healing and our journey. We've chosen to be here. The way that I see it is to
Yes.
support, to be ourselves, to support the collective, to bring, if everyone was truly just being themselves, the world would be a different place. Like, I
Right.
mean, that's just so the place we've never been is our invitation to be absolutely true to who we are,
Mm.
our authenticity. Grandmother said all the way through. She's
Yeah.
talking about being authentic, having the courage to be yourself, to, the whole theme is absolutely spot on to what the
Yeah.
astrology is.
Wow.
And
Well, yeah, she
yeah,
talks about one of my favorite lines that I can always remember from the teach, because again, it's just only a month fresh in my mind, having channeled it, is she says, "This is the year we get to be our full self without apology."
yes,
Because
I've
we've
got that
we've
highlighted.
been our full self, but we've had to temper it
Yeah,
down or hide it
yeah.
or be strategic. So now it's like full self without apology. Watch out, watch out.
Totally, totally. And of course, like that takes a lot of adjustment. This is going to be in some ways challenging, but challenging, pushing us forward to be true to who we are,
Yeah.
in a way that we haven't before. So uh, there's so many pieces in here that she talked about, but one of the pieces and I've got my notes here and I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember,
go.
oh, this is toward the end, the friends and the community. Part of what's happening now is we're shifting into higher frequency with the planets, um, Uranus and Pluto in flow, and there's pieces here that are telling us we can't do this alone.
Mm.
We need to do this in community or have, and I think Grandma said it too, one friend is all you need to have that person who allows you to be yourself, who supports you to be yourself, who's just that place where you can land and be authentic and be supported. And it can be like your community, Lori, that you've created.
Yes.
And or the tools for transformation that Sasha and I've created. We're all going to do it in our own way, but we're moving into a place we've never been before. So we absolutely need the support that allows us to step into our courage to be true to who we are.
Yes.
Like it's that big. To me, this is, I'm an Aquarius. So Aquarius is about community, but to me, this is just essential for all of us to
Mm.
find our own way through. It's not something I believe you could do yourself or do easily yourself. Like
Yeah.
I really feel like this is essential for us we're building a new community. We're building a new vision. We're building
A new world.
so a new world. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, anyways, yeah.
And you
So I
need
was
that
leaping way ahead.
company to bear witness to who, like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
see you be your full self. I get it. You
Yeah.
see me be my full self. You get it. It
Yeah.
gives ourselves permission.
Permission.
And I'm
Ex-
grateful that grandmother took time at the beginning of the Focus 2026 to say, I think she had said, like, this will be the year we remember that our real life began. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so what's that been all along? And
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
been us growing into our power, us being authentic, not that
Yeah.
any of that hasn't happened, but it's always, with having to watch or be careful or not offend people or not, outshine people. We've always
Yeah.
have to had that part of ourselves hidden.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean we haven't been trying to be our full self, because we have. And I don't think we could
Yeah.
build this world we're building or be here unless we had been our full self. But now we get to be it again without apology. It's like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like, I
And
like
there's,
that.
yes, exactly. And at the February 20th, Saturn and Neptune come together at the very, very, very beginning of the zodiac, Aries. 0 degrees Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. Saturn is manifestation. Neptune is our spirit, as
Hmm.
one, brief way to put this. And so Aries is the courage for us to manifest our spirit on
Mm,
Earth. And I speak, there's many ways you can talk about this, but within your community, that will be understood. It's
yeah,
like that's the place, but it takes courage. Aries is the pioneer. Okay, I got to do it my way. I need to step into my courage to figure it out. And Saturn can be a planet that brings up fear. So there's this place where, as we follow our intuition, we follow that inner guidance so we can take action. Aries wants to take action
right,
that's going to bring our spirit into alignment with who we are in this planet. Like who we are. We've come in to be here. We've come in to experience all the wonders of being on this planet. And
mm,
that's not to escape it. And we want to manifest it. So there's a piece here that it's, knowing that these are the energies and this is the time. It's
yeah.
like, okay, this is the year. Don't,
The time we've
don't
been
skip.
waiting for.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, don't miss it. And there's other pieces that are going on in the sky that I won't talk about all the astrological pieces, but they're pieces that haven't been before
Yes.
that are lining up in total support, like flow, ease, and that's part I was laughing. Allow the universe to flow through you. I have been saying since I started teaching this fall 2024, what are you choosing to flow in your life?
Okay.
What are you where are you putting your attention? It's now is the time. As of February, we're taking action. We're taking action on what we have been, intuitively guided to, how we connect to, our spiritual, but it can be our creativity, it can be our compassion, it can be a lot of our emotional self. We can have a lot of places, but how are we allowing that universe to flow through is hmm, where we focus our attention. And we've been dreaming this in for like almost 2.5 years.
Okay.
And February is when we're planting a seed that we may not even have a sense fully until the end of the year what seed we planted, but we've been dreaming it in. We've had hints for the last little while, particularly last summer. We would have got a sense of this new energy. So we've been dreaming it in so that we can take action because we're not going to take action recklessly and randomly if we've been paying attention to our dreams, to our intuition. And in the outer world, those that aren't maybe working as consciously with the energies
Sure.
may take action in ways that are confused,
Sh-
to put it nicely. I don't
Politely. Yes.
politely.
Yes.
That is that'll be happening. But that's if we see that happening and it's the call for us to go inside
Yeah.
and to really tell what's our action. What's the step we're going to take
We
that
take
aligns who we are? Yeah, that's the piece
and
that's
love bigger, like we talk about in our webinars.
totally, oh my gosh,
Love and light, love
that's
bigger. Do your job.
exactly. And that's a beautiful part of this. There's this configuration that I just talked about, Saturn and Neptune. Neptune is the heart.
Mm,
And planets that I'm talking about, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, are forming this beautiful triangle in the sky that will be around for a couple of years. The point of the triangle is Neptune. That's the heart. That's the heart
okay.
energy. So Aries, the courage to follow your heart, to
Mm,
trust your intuition. And I've been, drawing it on slides and things like that for classes and looking at the triangle. And it was just as I was starting to, the last couple of days, as I've been thinking about grandmother's messages. And as I was thinking about it, it's like an arrowhead. It's like, where's the direction you're pointing?
mm,
It's having the courage to follow your heart. Your heart is leading this beautiful supportive triangle that's flowing through us underneath all of the day-to-day stuff, all the stuff. The energies are literally flowing and we are guiding it through the heart, through the intuition, with
beautiful.
our courage. Yeah, it's profound that to me that the universe, the cosmos, that all that is, has conspired to so strongly support us. You
Yes.
know, to like it, like we need it to walk through this total transformation of everything,
Yes.
yeah, energetically.
Well,
But
and
yeah, and actually, sorry,
no, no, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, I say everything's changing. You know, you may still live in the same house, have the same friends, have what, do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't, it means the energetic shifts.
Energetics changing.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
remembering back to when we spoke last year, and you were walking us through last year where the child within could finally grow. And I'm only remembering bits of it. I'll have to go back and review it. But I remember you talked about us kind of having inklings of that,
yeah,
the child within isn't childish. That's the part of us, our soul came for a mission. So as that child within is growing and gestating and maturing, then we get to live our dreams. And we got a little bit of time, maybe last summer, last fall, to kind
yeah,
of practice, try things on, see what we like.
yeah.
And then I do remember you talking about, then once we figure out where we want to point that triangle, that
Hmm.
this year would really be getting behind us to be able to
Yeah,
operationalize it. So I'm hearing some of that theme from last
yeah,
year with fresh ears
yeah,
to you today.
yeah.
Mm,
And just for anyone who's listening, if you think back to the summer, there may have been hints. Some people actually made big moves last summer, but hints about where you're going, where spirit is guiding you.
yes, yes,
And so for people to kind of think back and reflect on that, some people, I've watched this all year, watched what people, some people literally made big sudden changes. Other people, it's like, I have this sense that, I'm a little more in, I have the sense of. Um, so just for everyone to kind of think that was part of the guidance system. That's intriguing, or that interests me, or
yeah,
or I'd like to move in that direction. That was part of our inner guidance system for this year. It's like,
getting
okay,
ready.
this is the time.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah,
awesome. So
so,
February 20th, fasten our seatbelts, start dancing. This is the time we've been
yeah,
waiting for.
yeah,
Well, you
exactly,
could dance with a seatbelt on. Forget the seatbelt. We've been wearing the seatbelt all of our life.
exactly. We're
Out of
just
the car and dance.
exactly. And here's the thing, we're planting a seed. And when you think about this cycle, may not have existed since 4000 BC, like this particular cycle.
Yeah.
So February 20th is the day these two planets come together. It's symbolic. We are planting a seed, but even by the end of the year, we may just be consciously go, oh, that's the seed I've planted. Like it's such a vast cycle.
Yes.
And but I've been also thinking about lots of different things grandmother said, and I'm wondering where this came in. We're working with new frequencies,
Yes.
and that's going to come in April.
Okay. That's
That's absolutely, yeah. She was right on in terms of the key pieces of astrology for this year. She didn't miss it. She did not miss a beat. Of course,
well, and
like
she's grandmother. She's up there in astrology, I guess. She talked
exactly. She's just living it.
Yeah, she talked a little bit, I guess, three-quarters of the way through the webinar about these new compounds, and she was really really selective with her language. She says they're compounds, they're actual physical, chemistry like hydrogen,
Mhm.
oxygen, like all the compounds we would think of that are because we've evolved now, they're being infused into our atmosphere from the universe proper. So now we're going to start to feel different, not probably notably different, but we're going to start feeling different, and it will be allowing this opening up and this evolution process. A lot of
Mhm.
it has to do with our maturity, which is great. Thank goodness we're finally maturing as a human species, mostly. And now these new compounds can come and assist us. We don't have to do anything. It's not like some are going to get the compounds, some aren't. No, it's in the atmosphere. The universe knows what to do. So we'll be able to adapt and evolve with some assistance, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And The planet that is moving in April into a new sign is Uranus, moving into Gemini.
Okay.
And it is Gemini and Pluto's in Aquarius already. These are higher frequency signs, particularly Aquarius, but these are working together in this part of the flow that we're moving in. And
Okay.
when I was thinking about it and listening to Grandma Shu, it makes me think of the different astrologers and weather, what are they called?
Physicist?
Whatever the weather. Yeah, astrophysics. I can't remember. But the ones who look at the space weather, and that we as a planet have been moving into a different part of the solar system, and the magnetic field is shifting. And I am no expert on this, but we are actually having new whatever. So compounds
House?
literally compounds like coming to the surface of the planet that we haven't experienced before. So as she was listening to saying that too, it's like, yeah, of course that's happening. Of course, that's exactly, and it is of course changing us because
Yeah.
it's part of our environment and it's affecting us one way or another.
Yeah.
So the piece that's really I've been speaking about frequency in terms of higher vibration. So Pluto, personal empowerment to be truly who we are in Aquarius, to be our authentic self. Uranus, breakthroughs, awakenings, insights, information coming in that allows us to see ourselves awaken to new ways of being. These are supporting each other, but they're higher. Both of these planets are functioning at a higher frequency.
Okay.
So it's part of the triangle, that's part of the base. And so the call is for us to be truly authentic to who we are, to be our individual self, is part of the energy of raising the collective and raising our frequency.
Nice.
So, you know, this is us once again bringing the frequency down to earth, bringing the higher vibration down to earth through our body. And she was talking about literally physical. It's a physical
Yeah,
piece.
specifically our nervous system. She said we're going to find a new a new mode or like a new dial. So we've got fight or flight,
Yep.
we've got rest and digest, but we're coming at a new speed or a new place in in our nervous
Yeah.
system itself, with that she called stasis or a place of presence where we're still very aware, but we're calm. We're alert but calm. And boy, that will be a welcome place for us to experience a third speed in our nervous system. Hmm.
Exactly. And the interesting piece is that I've been talking about Uranus and Gemini for once again since the fall of 2024 when I started to teach this. And it's the place where I would say to everyone, okay, things are gonna speed up. There's going to be information coming in. And Uranus is like a lightning bolt. This can zap your nervous system if you do not stay grounded. But as I was preparing for this, I realized that a huge piece of my language, that groundingness, comes from being true to who we are. If
Uh,
we just align to this is who we are, this is then your nervous system doesn't get fried. You're not being pulled by all the information that's coming at you, all the speeding up of everything.
yeah,
It's like the analogy of being the center of the wheel, right? Everything's going around and you're in that stillness.
just be the center. Yeah.
Just be the center of yourself. And then, so there was a piece of this that I kind of recognize that, I often think of grounding, putting your feet on the ground and doing your breath work and doing all that. And then listening to grandmother, it really came to me, all we have to do is be who we are
Be who
in
we
our eccentricity. That's in our individuality,
Yeah.
in our, that place where, maybe we didn't fit in at times, that kind of
But we need you
energy.
now.
Exactly. Now we can come together and go, there you are. There's my, family of frequency. That's Pam Gregory, family of frequency to
I,
support this.
I
So
love
I love that awareness that I was getting as I was listening to grandmother, knowing the astrology and it just becoming really clear.
your
That's to me, that's the actual grounding. Be yourself,
Well, and she's
have the
talked, I
courage.
think we've talked about this before in some of the other classes where it was probably as long as 4 or 5 years ago, she said, grounding is good, and whatever you ground to and anchor to that's right and true is absolutely fine. But also part of grounding is expanding and being your true authentic self, as you said. So it's like we
Yeah,
can't just have these expansive experiences and then try to go back to what we were. Is that we can
yeah,
anchor, to anything that's real and that we trust, but we also have to expansion is also part of our grounding,
yeah,
being that authentic self, being that,
yeah,
full self of who we are. So it very much matches
yeah.
what you're saying. Mhm.
It's yeah. And that's part of the energy that we are going to experience until probably early 2028.
Okay.
This place about show up as yourself, be empowered to be unique, do what you want. And there may be information coming in personally and collectively that may actually feel disruptive. That's Uranus's job. The
Okay.
disruptiveness is to bring you it's like break down to break through or bringing you an awakening. It's where things have become stagnant and stuck.
Okay.
Sometimes we need a shock, a shake to loosen that up.
Yeah.
This is all, once again, this is all supported in this flow. So, sort of a reminder if things come up and it's like, wow, I really didn't see that coming and I'm not
Sure.
sure what
Like
I
a
think.
shake up.
Yeah, shake up to recognize, to think, okay, what is the piece that I was holding on to that I need to let go to move into this new cycle?
Okay.
And this is all in the flow. So this is all, gift. This is all opportunity. This is all. So when you can be open to considering it with this kind of, invitation for the
Yes.
change,
Yes.
then this truly is a flow. We don't have to fight against it. You don't have to get hit over the head. You don't have to get the bolt of lightning, literally. You can invite in and recognize, oh, I needed that, shake up.
Yeah. Well, and you're using the word flow and a shakeup, and the image I can't get out of my head is like a log jam. I grew up in around the St. Lawrence River, and the winter is really cold, and when the
Yeah,
ice starts to break up, there's all these ice, jams
yeah,
everywhere. But
yeah,
underneath everything is flowing. So
flowing.
eventually those jams and things that look like it's, whoa, there's no way out of this, they do clear up and
Yeah,
they just start to flow apart or
yeah,
in the right direction. So
yeah.
we
And
need,
you know what? As you're saying that, because I live on a lake right now, and that happens because we watch this, and that happens just like that. Like it happens quickly, it happens suddenly. It's just, like it's just there.
yeah,
And to me, that's another piece of this speeding up of the energies of this year and moving forward is that things can happen quickly.
okay.
And there's something, it's like, it's grandmother was saying somewhere about the seeking, and we take time, we've been the seekers, we've been working hard, that kind of piece.
Yeah,
I believe now as we're shifting into this new, these things can happen. I'm going to say spontaneously. I don't really even know if that's exactly right, but
yes,
just it can just happen now. Like we can just, and part of that is just opening up to the guidance that is there for us, the heightened awarenesses that she talks about, right? That's just
yes.
part of what we're actually moving into.
Just get in line, get in alignment with what's already happening.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
beautiful,
No,
beautiful.
it is. I mean, it's a remarkable time that we're living.
Mm,
When you consider that where you are creating a new world
yeah.
in the way that we are connecting to the energies.
Yes. Well, and I mean, we've both been around a little tiny while. So, I
Mhm.
feel like I've been hearing that, okay, create your own reality, create your own world, bring your own piece of the puzzle and,
Mhm.
hang in there, hang in there. It seems like I just blinked at 5 minutes ago and I was in my 20s and now, well
Mhm.
past that. And it's like, oh my goodness, so nice to have weathered all of that slow change
Yeah,
and enduring change and hang in there change and keep being yourself because nobody's not been themselves that I'm
yeah,
privileged to meet.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now we're at a point where it is flowing, and this is we've been dress rehearsing for our whole life, and now all we have to do is show up without apology and be our full selves and be kind of like a model for others to do it.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange. All we're used to is kind of enduring and hanging in there. And it's like, okay, so this is the play we've been rehearsing for. That it's not even a play, it's our life. It'll be some really interesting things to get used to, I think. Maybe not for people who are in their 20s,
Oh, definitely.
but old war vets like myself,
Yeah,
and
maybe not.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
we just have to flow. Okay,
Yeah.
how do we do that?
I know, and I may exactly. I was just gonna say it may be hard, for us that have processed our life in ways where we've had to be committed to our seeking and all the rest. To just let go and trust that it's
Yeah,
just it's just gonna happen. Like I can't even imagine because of the I've lived, same as you, a long
a
time
tiny
working through.
while.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
but also exciting to see it be here, though.
oh, amazing, like
Yeah.
an amazing, yeah. And once again, we chose to, we chose that. There's
Yeah.
another piece that grandmother talked about that I thought was really fascinating was the soul promise and the personal promise.
Yes.
Thought that was really a lovely I often I do I work the nodes of the moon. I work with the soul, why have you come in? What's your soul purpose? What have you chosen to do? As a spirit, you came in to learn certain things. I speak about that as almost the fundamental to a reading so that we get oriented at that
Mhm.
level. But I love the combination of that and the personal promise. So if the nodes are the soul promise came in, the person I think about the personal planets particularly, but the planets, the what rest of your chart is like, oh, but I've come in to manifest it in this way. I've come in to be of service. I've come in to be myself. I've come in to, create a beautiful family, whatever it is, right? Everyone's got their own piece,
Right.
but that gets lived out in real life. And here's the thing that's fascinating. The nodes of the moon
Right.
switch signs in the summer from Leo to Aquarius. Aquarius, the future, um, the community of individuals. So being yourself. Aquarius is being yourself, being your quirky self that holds space for your whole community that can be quirky selves. Like that's, and I love the alignment, and even that grandmother brought it up, because Leo is the person, this is who I am, it's open-hearted and it's shining your light individually.
Okay.
And then the Aquarius pieces, and as we do that, we uplift the collective. So there's this soul piece, the nodes of the moon, but there's also us shining our light in our personal way. Oh, I love to travel. Oh, I love to, whatever it is, right? To just shining our light,
Mm.
that is part of this year as well, which I just, as I was listening to grandmother, once again, I can hear the astrology as I'm listening to her.
Yes.
And I just thought that's such a beautiful thing to be paying attention to once again, not just sole purpose, oh, I need to be doing this, I need to be of service in this
Right.
way, but it's also, no, but I also came in to experience the joy
Yeah.
of being human on this planet and all that it entails.
Well, and I think this
Yeah.
is the first time I've ever heard her talk about this because she's talked about our soul, but our soul mission is what we came for to make the world a better place. Our
Yeah.
personal mission, she talks about as this is what I promised myself. I would not leave the planet until I experience this. And it
Yeah, I
could just,
love that.
enjoying good cooking, or it's usually some
Yeah.
simpler things. So, but
Yeah.
it's the first time I've heard her say that this year we get to do it in tandem. We don't have to do one or the other, or,
Yeah.
a little bit here and a little bit there. It's like, no, they've got to be done in tandem. So do
Yeah.
what you came to do on a bigger scale as you're also, oh, wait, including yourself in your own life.
Yeah.
Again, new
Yeah.
concept for a lot, a lot of people.
I know.
Beyond
I
concept.
love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard a podcast with an astrologer that gave me, there's a lot of Aquarius energy. Pluto in Aquarius is part of this beautiful supportive triangle. Pluto is our self-empowerment to be uniquely who we are and therefore uplift the collective as we live that. And I was listening to someone and he said Aquarius is this collective, right? So you think about your tribe and your, whatever that is, your friends.
Yes.
And he said, the way that he frames Aquarius is all the different pieces of ourselves. If we live all the different pieces of ourselves, they come together into this beautiful collective, which as you were speaking, it just came to mind because we want to live all those pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're, and,
More
and
balance for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, and
yeah,
I know so, and I don't want to jump ahead in any way, but I know grandmother usually kind of tears out the year and says, okay, these months, this is what to focus on. These months, this is
yeah,
what to focus on. Did you have a chance to look at
yeah.
that through your wonderful astrology lens?
I, I did. And so I've
Oh,
got it
sorry.
written out somewhere. Hang
It's
on.
on page 100.
No, no, that's okay. I'm going to bring it to the top. It's near the
Oh,
bottom
no, no, no.
because
We'll
I
just,
was,
that's okay. We don't need to
no,
go there now. Why don't you keep going through your notes the way you've got it? Because I love hearing what you have to say. So just do it in whatever
well,
order.
you know what? I think I can flow with this in the same, the same messages. So the January and the February, she had tempering and balancing our new roles.
Hmm.
So once again, that's what we talked about in, Saturn and Neptune coming together in Aries, having the courage to move forward. We're stepping into a new way of being ourselves. Aries is I am, which when I look at this, it's like, yeah, that's our new way of being. It's our new way of becoming who we truly are.
Yeah.
And we're still slightly, what's the date today? Yeah, Neptune is going into Aries very soon, but we're still in the very, very ends of dreaming of ourselves in. By
Okay.
the time people are watching this, Aries will probably already be in Neptune, and then it's the courage to live our dreams, the courage to follow our intuition, to chart our own path that's guided by, our guides,
Yes.
our creative self. So that part to me, and the Saturn piece of that is the tempering. It's the strength, it's the foundation. It's like Saturn wants to manifest, and Saturn likes a structure. So
Okay.
there's a place here where Saturn in itself is giving us some form of grounding or structure so that we can plant this seed that we want to make real.
Okay.
Like Saturn really wants to take time, do it right, make things long. This is longevity, long term, make it
Okay.
last. So,
Oh,
so important.
well, that's so helpful to hear too, because it's like, okay, temper and balance your roles and tasks. It was like, well, don't we do that all the time? But if we're expanding and going into this whole new world, new way of being,
Exactly.
we those of us, which is probably all of us, want to have some structure around that. So it's like, as I'm doing, I don't know what, I do want to
Hmm.
know some of it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a good way to start the year. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
that makes tons of sense. So
Yeah.
then March and May, March to May. So what she said, I think it was on your slide,
Yeah.
shine, 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 shine in your authentic self.
Uh,
Show up as who you are.
yeah.
That is exactly that. The Uranus in Gemini, Uranus is be your unique self.
Okay.
And this ties into something that we didn't get to at this point, that the awakening or the opening to new guidance.
Yes.
And Uranus is moving into Gemini, and Gemini is information.
Okay.
Uranus is the unexpected. So now we're looking at energies that coming from unexpected places. And as I've been watching this, you know, over the next number of years, I imagine we're going to hear about uh, extraterrestrial contact. I'm
New neighbors or friends. I was
New neighbors. Thank you. That's a beautiful. I was trying to figure out how to put that. Yes, our new neighbor are not our new neighbors. We'll
yeah.
be aware of our neighbors,
Yes. Yes.
and they may be here from in other frequencies. I don't know what it's going to be. No idea.
Yeah.
that's the kind of information that's going to come in, but it also means that we individually can get information from unexpected places. And
Mhm.
that truly can be, it could be through your dreams. This
Sure.
is connected to the heart and the intuitive place, my beautiful little triangle. Um, it can be, it can come through in ways that's like, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? Once again, that's that shaking up anything that's being stagnant. So that can be our Mercury's our mind. That can be our perception.
Yes.
That can be, uh, oh, I didn't see the world that way, or I didn't think that way. And all of a sudden, again, we're expanding. We're shifting out of the old
Yes.
and into something new. Like that's a huge piece of what's happening here.
Right, right.
And part of is the connection to Pluto, which is our personal empowerment, being unique to ourselves. They're flowing.
Yes. Yeah.
So the literal place when grandmother or what, yeah, on your slide, whether you or grandmother saying this is the time to shine, shine, shine. Be your, what I've written down is be your full self.
Yes.
Um, Following your heart. There's the Neptune place in this triangle. That's exactly the right. Like she's bang on there because
Okay.
it's April. I believe it's April 20th or something. I actually wrote down these dates because I haven't got them in my head. Um, Anyways, it's April. I think it's April 25th. I don't know where I
Okay.
wrote it. Yeah. So that's the exact date. Once again, we're talking such big cycles that a day doesn't actually matter. But just in terms of astrology,
Yeah.
there's an initiation into this. Here I am, and there's information coming in that allows me to be more who I am. I don't know what
Great.
that looks like, but sorry, I hope you didn't hear that ding. I've got the
Oh,
if I
no.
have my sound on, my text come through.
Oh,
Um, so then I loved this June and September. She was talking about allies being in place.
yeah. These are the new allies because she talked about there's going to be new kingdoms, new allies, new
Exactly.
energies, just as you mentioned, coming. So they'll be
Coming.
in place. Yeah. And they're going to pick up the
But
load.
exactly now, this is huge, especially in July.
Yes.
These this beautiful triangle becomes exact. And so any astrologers out there will know this anyways, but they're becoming exact at 4 degrees. So people with if you know your chart well enough, there's something at 4 degrees is going to be really heightened.
Oh,
But no matter what, they're coming together exact to the minute. They're all lining up. And Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is coming into this. So it's almost forming like a kind of like a basket. And so this is the first time that all of the new energies are lining up.
wow.
We are going to be experiencing that. And Jupiter expands everything. So there's going to be a place where this I'm assuming there will be a feeling of expansion of these energies that we haven't lived before, that we haven't felt before in this way. And what it makes when she was saying allies are coming into place, I thought there we are. It's a supportive astrological configuration. The planets are lining up to support us, and Gemini, Uranus and Gemini is bringing in the new information
Mm,
to allow us to show up, to stand up in our power. And the peak of that, once again, is still that Neptune is still in that flow, having the courage to follow our heart, to follow our guidance. This can be very intuitive,
yes.
but it'll be a place where this is the first time we'll have experienced this energy exactly.
Wow.
And this is highly, highly, highly unique in astrology. I don't have when this happened or whatever. I don't know that,
Yes.
but it rarely if ever happens. And
No.
so we will know that. And so I just thought allies in place. Yeah, we'll know. We'll feel
You
the
feel it.
guidance is coming in.
Yeah. That's
100%.
that'll be fun.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
know. It's just going to be profound. It's just like, yeah. And once again, looking into it from the outside, I can use astrological language, but we haven't lived it yet. As you know, and I'm saying we can listen to grandmother, and it's like oh, kind of excited about that. There's some anticipation, maybe there's some hesitation, but it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we won't know till we're there.
No.
Like we can't know.
And
It's
thankfully we
literally
won't be alone because we'll all be doing it together and having some extra help that we don't know what it is. Yay.
Exactly. I know it actually, Lori, that's a great, in the summer, it'll be fascinating to connect with this energy again and just see
Yeah.
how that's been for people, what the energies are looking like, what's it feeling like to be immersed in the energies of the future. Like these are the seeds we're planting for our personal future, but collectively for a higher vibration collective future that we literally are creating at
Yeah.
this time. And
Well, and
totally.
as you say that, Valanne, of course, I'm listening with my brain because I'm not an astrologer, so I
Mhm.
don't understand all the words, but I can jot them down and, let them seep in. But when you said about the future, immerse ourselves in the energy of the seas of the future, and that we're collective, if we are all doing this here, in our own known and sense circles and life and earth and all those kingdoms, like a plant, animal, mineral, elemental and worlds beyond that, we're getting closer and closer to the universe proper, was what I call it. It's like that collective gets pretty supportive at such a big, beautiful level, doesn't it?
Exactly. And I made a note of that with the new kingdoms as you said that.
Hmm.
And this is going to be, these new kingdoms may be totally unexpected. And I
Yeah,
think grandmother sort of hinted that. Like we can't even foresee what we're connecting into from this point right now. We can, I mean, you
sure.
did the meditation, we can dream it in, but this is the piece where all of a sudden we may find ourselves supported or finding information coming in to support us from places that we literally couldn't imagine.
Yes.
Just kind of, yeah, it's amazing. Oh, it's exciting. I know. Me too. I'm just kind of like, you,
Yeah.
there's the mundane level, but this level, it's like, wow, it's
Yeah.
so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Uh,
love it.
and to continue, the next point after that was enhanced partnership with your guides. So once again, that was her. I've leaped off of
Mhm.
the calendar page, um, taking us to the next level. And that's also the astrology. We're talking higher frequency, higher vibration. We're talking about living, still living on this earth, but living in a way that really supports the higher vibration of compassion, of creativity, of love. And when she talked to the big love is so huge for
Yeah.
what we're being how we're being asked to guide our intention, our what we're manifesting in this in in this year, because that's where we're going to keep, we want to set the path,
Yeah.
want to chart our course through the heart, through the
Definitely.
compassion, through that opening,
Mhm.
which is beautiful. And once again, totally, totally, totally aligned to the astrology. Of course. Of course.
Of course.
Grandmother doesn't fool around.
No, she doesn't. I love it.
Yeah. She
I found it
uh,
really interesting in the layout of the year, and I'd be very curious on your take on this. She said in October, kind of keep it light, that we might have to assist with a course correction of someone that we
it,
value deeply. And
some
what would that mean?
well, I looked at that and I looked at the astrology of that month just briefly, just had a quick look at it.
Yeah.
There's a couple things. One is by the time we get through the end of the summer, we've experienced all the big shifts in the astrology.
Okay.
So from here until August, I don't have the exact dates written down, but through the end into August, there's some big things happening on. So through that, we've gone through, okay, we're in this new, we're feeling this new, it's things are lining up for the first time, like all these firsts, right?
Right.
Come the fall, it's less, there's still stuff going on, but not these things that have never happened in human history, kind of more like, okay, here's the regular astrology. So
Okay.
I had a look at October and I thought it was really interesting because the North Node, soul purpose, what's our destiny, what's our fate, is in a configure a supportive configuration with Chiron, what's the core wound?
Mm.
So, there were a couple of things that stood out, and I was listening to grandmother looking at the chart, and there's a place where we may, you know, as we've already lived and tried to be conscious and try to work with these energies ourselves, we may come to a point in the fall where there's people that haven't had the awareness,
Mm.
or not that people aren't living it, whether they
Sure,
know it or not,
sure.
but there will be people who are,
Less of.
I'm assuming, are struggling more with, or trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And there's a piece here where, to me, the October, and I was just trying to fit what grandmother said to the astrology, there's that sole purpose of assisting with a core wound. And the sun is in Libra opposite Aries, and there's a whole bunch of Aries stuff. I won't go into too much astrology, but at that time, there's this opposition between this is me shining in who I am and being in Libra relationships, and that the opposite sense is being true to who you are. And so there's a place where, to me, as I looked at that, I went, wow, trying to figure out a balance of how do you assist someone. And
Yeah.
the way that you do it is by being true to who you are, coming back to that place again and bringing that to, and once that may simply, as we're talking about it now, it's sort of coming to me too, that may simply be us living our truth. This is who I am now. So the assistance for someone else may truly be, I'm living my authentic life. I'm trying to do it. We live in the real world. There's going to be ups and downs or whatever, but
Yes.
I'm living my authentic self. I'm showing up for what's right for me. You may not even know how you're impacting and assisting someone else, simply because you're living this energy of
Mm.
unapologetically
Yes.
being who we are.
Yeah. So they might
And
they might learn by proxy or by example or just somehow get the vibe from you, like,
yeah,
oh, I can bravely do that because Valanne's doing it. Is that what you mean?
that's
Or who
exactly what I mean.
knows?
Yeah. Give, yeah, who knows? Well, yeah,
We'll know in
exactly. Or
October.
we'll find out in October.
Or I'm living
But that's how
my authentic self has to say no to you for the first time in our
exactly.
relationship, and now you
Hmm.
get to have your turn. Who knows? October
Absolutely.
pretty
Well,
fast.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
actually, it's Libra season, and a Libra is about what's balanced and fair and just and right. So, giving too much of yourself, well, that's not right. Being so it's
Yeah.
literally what you're saying. There's boundaries involved in that
Yeah.
to create that balance. So, yeah. I mean, once again, who knows exactly, because we won't know
Yes.
until we're living it out. But
Yeah.
those are kind of the things that kind of came to mind when I looked at the charts, and
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you
it's
for that. That's beautiful.
very interesting. Yeah. And the November, December was leave time to travel, to move, to expand, that kind of energy.
Hmm.
And that piece for me, this whole year is like this. And so I think maybe by the end of the year, we'll have more of a sense of like the seed we're planting, where we're going. This whole year, it's energized, it's supportive. This is not the year to sit back and say, I'll do it next year. Like, literally, we need to be taking a step in some way. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. We don't have to save the world, but we need to take a step. We
Hmm.
need to have the courage to take a step that's right for us, to leave that space, to move, to create, to expand. This is it. This is the year.
Yeah.
Like, we can't not.
We can't not
I mean,
expect.
of course we can. We can make that choice. But, the energies are supporting us. So if we're working with the energies, this is the year where these energies are profound. We want to we want to take advantage of the energies that's saying new frequencies are coming in. You're stepping into a new way of being. We don't
Yes.
want to miss the support and the flow. So
Yeah.
I just thought that whole piece about, expanding and moving and creating is so aligned to yeah, I've been adjusting to all these energies, whatever it's going to be for all of us. I have no idea.
Yes, yes.
Um, but to at the end of the year, as we've gone through stepped into this brand new seed that, astrologers look forward and they can't find where this happens again.
Hmm.
So this is like it's not even a second of what we're going to be living, but we've planted that seed. And I love that at the end, we're not in this huge, oh my God, I'm in a new energy and how am I going to adjust to it? And, there's a little bit of a, not sure. It feels like, okay, I can be calm enough, I can be settled enough so that I can move, expand, create for myself. It can be
Yes.
in that place. That's how that's how what I took that to mean,
Yeah.
or what that related to the astrology to me.
Yeah.
Um,
It's perfect. Well, and then
yeah.
we've got our new dial on our nervous system, so we can be present with that, which is awesome. And I do remember that I don't think we said it in the webinar, but certainly on our class page when people order the webinar, at
Mm,
the end of grandmother's discussion, introducing the class, she said something about, and yes, dear ones, we will still call Earth home. Like with all this new and expansion is like, a lot of
yeah.
people get stuck on this fixation of we're ascending, we're not going to be here on the Earth. It's like, yeah, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're still going to be here, but we're
Yeah.
changing so much on the Earth and with ourselves that it may seem different, but we will still call Earth home, which is
I was thinking about, sorry,
no,
finish. I interrupted. Okay.
not good.
I had the feeling of that. I've really come to kind of understand what that feels like. And one of my examples was I had to go to Toronto, and driving in Toronto. Well, maybe you don't know, but driving in Toronto is insane.
Yeah,
It's not a pleasant experience. And I was just open. This is living the new frequency. As I'm driving along, people let me in. Little wave, and of course I'm in gratitude. The
yeah,
parking spot's right there. That I just flowed through the whole day. Like there was no issues. And I kept on, that to me is living in the higher frequency. Like people are kind, people are generous, and so it puts me in gratitude to be living in that. And so
mm,
that's how, it's kind of like, yes, we're living in the same environment, we're sharing the earth. We may be living in another frequency that feels different,
yeah,
that feels, once again, that we're in a flow of
yeah,
some form.
yeah,
And people smile and open the door. And whenever it happens, I'm just in gratitude. And I'm just like, it fills me up. And I think that's a piece where, once again, shining our light and uplifting the collective
yes,
by just trying to live that.
yeah. Well,
Anyway, that was,
it's like this is the life I've been trying to build. This is the world I know.
yeah,
It's like knowing our potential as human beings and our capacity. Yeah,
yeah,
and spreading a
yeah,
bit of that around. Oh, that's
yeah, yeah,
beautiful. Well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to keep you too much longer, but I know you had pages and pages of notes, Valan. Is there anything else kind of pressing that you want us to be thinking about this year that really, align so that we can be in that alignment and flow? Any new pieces?
I'm just looking at a couple of, I think I've said this over and over, so probably not, but I'm just going to say we take action from our heart with courage.
Yes.
That is such a huge piece of the astrology. And that's where, and the other piece, and this is just repeating, that we're stepping into these new energies and there is a flow, and we need to be very intentional around what we are choosing to flow in our life.
Mm,
To say, follow our compassion, follow our creativity, follow our inner guidance, follow our intuition, and allow that with courage, and allow that to point us in a way, so that's where the flow comes from. Like
yes.
that's a piece that seems so huge, because once again we're moving into a place we've not been before, and we're moving into a place where things will be shifting and changing, and we Oh, and the one other piece that I did bring this up before that just came into my head again is finding our community. So once again, like you've
Yes,
created and have your community, have your person, if not a community, but everyone listening here, you've built this community over years and years and years. So
mm,
we are all going to need that in some way to hold us to be the fact that we got to be true for ourselves. This is new.
yes,
We need that support to really allow us to have the courage to show up as who we are.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, those would be, those are the key, very key pieces that'll certainly align with grandmother.
Yes, yes. Well, and I'm sure there'll be more that comes up this year. We'll have to have you back. We
Yeah,
did that once, I think, last
yeah,
year,
yeah.
and the year went so fast, and yet it's so slow at the same time. It's like, did we even have 2025?
I know, I know,
So,
I know. It's just
well,
craziness.
it'll
Yeah.
be maybe we'll touch base after that summer and just take
Hmm.
stock and just say, okay, here's where we are halfway through the year. Here's what
Yeah.
we need to remember. Here's what, maybe we will, maybe, well, you're the one that'll see it, obviously, with your lens of astrology, but maybe
Mhm.
things will be more clear or just more enjoyable being in the flow. Who knows, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
I know
yeah.
it's going to be fascinating. But yeah, absolutely. I'm really intrigued with how this all plays out over the
Yes.
course of this year.
No.
It'll be
Well,
amazing.
she will be amazing. And again, thank you so much for taking your time and your expertise. And I know that's a lot to pay attention to pull all that it seems as if you just know all of this. But I do know it takes a lot of time to look at the charts and look at the information. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from all of us,
Oh, no.
for taking that
Oh, I love
to
it.
help us navigate this exciting year. And people can get a hold of
Yeah.
you best, Valanne, just through email, through what's
Um,
your website?
yeah, probably my website, yeah, has my email on it and all the
Okay.
information about what I offer and stuff. And that
Yes.
is valansastrology.com.
Perfect. Perfect.
So,
We'll put that in the
yeah,
show notes as we
yep,
did last year.
yep.
And I hope that everybody has a chance to, have a look at your personal chart through not just now what we
Hmm.
know for the year, but then we're all
Yeah,
unique and different too. So there's going to be different nodes
exactly.
to
Different
put
things
together.
are exactly different things are activated differently in everybody's chart. Yeah,
Well, we'll
yeah,
have great tools and great company along the way. And I'm just so grateful that you're here
exactly.
in our world and that we've made it to this stage in our world as well. Yay.
Yeah,
Phew.
yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
Exactly, exactly.
great.
Yeah,
Well, again,
that's
thanks again,
awesome.
everyone. Valan, our resident, I will call you unabashed, our resident astrologer, taking a look
Thanks
at
so much for having me.
2026. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, so much fun.
Thanks.
Thanks.